Wow, what a career. I did actually do some research. I did my little bit. I looked at some of I didn't realise you'd been in so much comedy. It's amazing. I was watching it last...
I'm an unfunny person. I don't know how that happened.
I was watching it last night, and I was in bed with my wife, and she'd dozed off, and I was just there with my laptop watching stuff, and I kept giggling, and she kept going, shut up. So amazing with funny stuff. That's some really good, some incredibly dramatic stuff as well.
Well, mainly I've done mostly comedy on television.
Yeah.
But drama in the theatre. I mean, I've done, some in some comedy in the theatre as well. But yeah, and I didn't set out to be in comedy. It just happened. I don't know how. I wanted to be a musical theatre actress. I wanted to be in musicals.
Yeah.
But that never happened.
So yeah, I actually wanted to be in musicals. When this is my little anecdote for you. When I was 16, my parents sat me down and they said, "Look, Paul, it's okay if you want to come out. We will love you." And I was like, "But I'm not gay." And they said, "Let's look at the evidence. You love musicals, you love Doctor Who, and you've never had a girlfriend." And I said, but it wasn't that they thought that I was gay. It's that they wouldn't believe me. That upset me. And I absolutely adore music. Anyway, that's enough about me. So, what you say you don't know how you got into comedy, but it seems really everything that I saw, your timing's incredible. It's so funny.
That's really kind. I love it. I love doing comedy. I love watching comedy. I was discovered by a comedy agent at the Edinburgh Festival when I was a student. I wasn't doing comedy at the time. I was playing the piano and singing in a hotel bar.
Classic story.
Yeah, and this agent came in, and he was Jasper Carrot's agent. Jasper Carrot, for those of you who are too young to remember, was a very brilliant Birmingham comic. Around the 1980s. Anyway, and they invited me over for a drink, and I sat down, and they...
Was this one of those ones where he said, "I'm an agent," you're like, "Yeah, right"?
No, it wasn't. I mean, I was really gullible, I just went with it. And he managed a band, and I ended up being a backing vocalist in the band that he also managed. And then through talking to him later and saying, "I don't want to be a singer in a band, I want to be an actress," he got me into TV comedy by bringing Paul Jackson, who is the producer that was behind The Young Ones and Three of a Kind. He got him to come and see me in this one-woman show that I was doing, and he gave me a part in a TV sketch show, and that's where it started.
And do you find comedy hard? I've always really been interested in doing comedy, but I don't seem to have the knack for it at all. And some people seem to be really naturally funny.
I think that's true. I think some people have funny bones.
Yeah.
I know actors, comedy actors, clowns, not red-nosed and big shoes clowns. I mean, people who just walk on stage and just look at the audience and you start laughing. Why? Because they've just got funny bones.
Yeah.
There's people like that. But I think also comic timing is something you can't teach somebody.
No.
You cannot teach somebody that. It's an instinctive thing.
Yeah.
You can work with people to help them find a comedy in a situation, so you can improvise and make fun that way. But you have to be able to be stupid and make mistakes and take the piss out of yourself, if you pardon my French.
Sure, right.
That's what you have to be able to do, not be frightened of making a fool of yourself.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And if you're too uptight and you're monitoring and you're thinking, I just want to look perfect, I want to be great, I don't want to make any mistakes. It's not, people won't find that funny, they'll be nervous when they watch you.
But I also think that there is so many different ways of being funny. You can get people that are just completely deadpan, and you were in tears of laughter. Yeah, absolutely. And I just think it's it's for me, looking from the outside, it seems like it is one of the hardest parts of the craft to master, unless you're absolutely born with it.
Well, you have to have funny material.
Yeah.
You know, you might be a funny person, but if what you're doing isn't funny, even you won't like that. So it's good. It's being able to choose the right things.
Yeah.
You know, like being able to choose the right scripts and the right programs and the right people to work with as well. Because sometimes, you know, you get offered a comedy play, and you can look at the cast and think, well, that's not going to be as fun. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
I'm not working with them, they're a miserable support.
I can imagine it. I mean, yeah. But I just think I'm always in awe of great comics. And when, as I said, when I was watching the stuff that you were doing last night, I just thought, this is so funny.
Well, like in My Parents Are Aliens, for example, there were quite a few occasions where we had to stop filming because we were laughing too much.
Right.
And we used to get into terrible trouble with the producer who was in a box upstairs, and you'd hear him coming down the stairs, you'd hear the footsteps, and you'd go, hide behind the sofa. We haven't got time for this. We paid you enough money to do the job professionally. You're wasting everyone's time. Stop laughing, grow up and be professional. We'd be like, it's me laughing.
How do you deal with that when you break? I mean, that must be so difficult.
I'm a terrible corpser. We call it corpsing, when you laugh when you're not supposed to. And Tony Gardner, who plays my husband in My Parents Are Aliens, he plays Brian. Absolutely terrible at just doing something really weird at the last minute that he didn't do in the rehearsal. And then that's it, I've gone.
Yeah. It always, whenever I see that happen, I just think, how do you get out of that? When I'm triggered and start laughing, I just don't know how to stop.
It's the fear of somebody being annoyed with you that actually, and also, I was in a play in the West End years ago, and it was a comedy, and I realised that some things used to go wrong. Like a teacher burst into the room, slammed the door, and the door handle came off in his hand. And we all fell about on stage, and so did the audience, because they saw what happened. So they were sharing the joke with us. So they said, oh, they're laughing because the door handle came off, and that wasn't meant to happen. So then they all laugh as well. If you've got a joke amongst yourselves, and the audience aren't part of it, it's just embarrassing.
Yeah, well, that's a different thing, isn't it?
When you see someone on stage laughing and giggling with someone else, you think, why are they laughing? It's very exclusive, so you have to be really careful.
Yeah, well, that's the same with all theatre. It has to be inclusive. It's an inclusive medium.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons that I really enjoy directing or producing theatre is ensuring that what you're doing is an inclusive session. You know, because it is far more intimate than television or film or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah. If you there's a great company called Told by an Idiot. It's run by a brilliant man called Paul Hunter, and he says, I think it's a quote from someone else actually, but he always says when he starts a rehearsal process, why would you charge an audience of people £45 to come and see your play and then ignore them for 2 hours?
Yeah.
So he doesn't believe in the fourth wall. He believes that if something goes wrong, make it wronger. That's what his mantra is. So I did a play with them at the Royal Exchange Theatre, which is very enclosed in the round. And the front seats are what they call banquettes, and they're right close up to you. So, you know, I could be standing here, and the first audience's feet would be here. They're right there, they can see you. The lighting is full on. And I was so frightened. I thought, I'm too self-conscious for this. I'm going to be really nervous if they're not in the dark.
Yeah.
I won't be able to do it. But it was so liberating. Because you can see their faces and you go, yes, I'm acting. It's a play. Because it wasn't realism. It was Paul Hunter's comedy. And, you know, I had an e-cigarette which lit up blue at the end. And my I used to take it out in the middle of my speech. I take it out of my handbag, smoke a few puffs, and then put it back in my handbag. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's surreal, it's absurd, it's saying I'm putting on a play, and it involves the audience because they're all part of the conceit.
When I produced and directed a version of Waiting for Godot at the German Street Theatre, and that's the same thing. So the theatre, the seats are right up, isn't it? And the whole, my whole idea was that the audience are the people in the bar. You know, because the whole thing happens in this bar. So why not the audience be those other people that are in there? You know?
People here, you know, you need to include all these people and look at them because they've come to see you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just to turn your face like that and talk like that when you're sitting there. That's very nice about it.
And he's lovely. I was admiring it earlier. But, and I know everyone asks this question. I've done it to everyone that I've interviewed. Do you prefer theatre or?
I'm the older I get, the lazier I get in the morning for comfort I have. So I prefer television because it's all. I'm doing Coronation Street on and off at the moment. I have done for over the last year, and it's lovely because it's comfortable, it's safe. You know the people you're going to see every day. People bring you cups of tea. They put your makeup on for you. They do your hair. In the theatre, it's really hard work. You don't get paid very much.
That's true. If at all.
If at all, yeah. So, but the theatre is really the place where I've done a lot of devised theatre and a lot of what they call magical realism theatre, where people are told by ideas, and I love that because you're like a child, you're creating, you're using your imagination, and that's where you really do what you're born to do.
Yeah.
Television is a different skill, and it's just, as I say, it's just more comfortable than theatre, which is long hours, dirty venues, and no money, but amazing fun.
And in some cases, very dirty, smelly outfits, costumes. I've never done any television. I've done a lot of theatre, and the older I get, the lazier I get as well. But when it comes to theatre, I just want everything to be black and ask the audience to use their imagination. And I like the idea, and I don't know how well it works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I really love the idea when the suspension of disbelief is shown in the audience, and you get that immediate feedback. That's the thing that I really love.
I totally agree. There was an amazing moment when I was playing Cruella de Vil in The Lion, the Witch, I played the White Witch as well, typecasting, obviously, in 101 Dalmatians. And it was a tiny theatre, tobacco factory in Bristol, and we did it with five actors, the whole of 101 Dalmatians. It was a magical, amazing production. We had puppets, we did things with lighting, and it's exactly what you say. If you believe something, then the audience will believe it. So I'm creeping around this open space as Cruella, creeping up on the Dalmatians who are hiding. And there's nothing between me and the actors playing the Dalmatian parents, nothing.
Yeah.
But we're acting as if there is. And we've already established where the door of the barn is. So I'm creeping around like this, and these kids are going, no, boo, boo, boo. And then one of them, I'm standing like this, against the pretend wall, and Pongo is standing the other side, with no wall there at all, just a pretend wall. And this kid yells out, not, can't you see her? No, but, Pongo, she's on the other side!
So that's incredible, that's amazing, right?
It's just, makes me have goosebumps even just to remember it, because that's what you want. It's that the child believed that there was a wall there, because we believed there was a wall there.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's amazing. No set, set, nothing.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, television and film, amazing stuff. But it's that immediate feedback and that suspension of disbelief that comes with that, and you're getting that feedback, I just think is one of the most magical things.
Those shows at Christmas when you can hear children's voices, children laughing is really incredibly rewarding.
Yeah,
even though they go to the loo every 15 minutes in the middle of your brilliant performance.
Last year, our daughter is 3, is 4, she was 3, and her brother, who is 4 years older, is in a panto, and she was watching her brother on stage, and we turned our back for a second. She climbed up on stage because George, my son, was about to be taken away by the evil witch. And my daughter crawled up on stage and said, Georgie, watch out! In front of the entire audience, which I thought was a beautiful moment, but not so good for the production. But I think it's that feedback that I think is just incredible. So let's talk a little bit about a bit more about television and what have you preferred to do there? I know that you're doing sort of Coronation Street and things like that. Do you like that sort of soap opera type thing?
I've never done a soap opera before. It's a different world because they're playing real people in real time.
Yeah.
In a real world that they've created since 1960, whatever it was, and they also come to work every day, so it's like 9 to 5. It's like a proper job, It's like an office job, except it's not. And that's a completely different. I mean, the longest I've ever been up there was when I was doing, I think I did 5 episodes in a row, so I was up there for a whole week.
Right.
And I have to say, I absolutely loved going in every day.
Yeah.
It was like doing my parents' Radiants for 7 years, going Monday to Friday, 10 till 7 every day. I like that familiarity, that regularity. But I can't imagine what it must be. Some of those people in Coronation Street have been in it since they were kids.
Yeah.
They've grown up with it to live with them.
I guess it's their home, isn't it?
So it's their home. It's the green room there is like the home from home. And I don't know, I tried being an estate agent for a while and during lockdown because there was no work for actors. And I found it really hard, having all my life not had a regular place to be, and not had a sort of routine or rules and regulations. I was told one day I walked into work in a summer dress with some trainers, and I was told you can't wear trainers to work.
Right.
And I was like, don't tell me what to wear. What not to wear. I'm in my 50s.
It's
so
perfectly my creativity.
Exactly, and it was just weird. And I realised I'm much more suited to the world that I've lived in all my life, which is working 1 minute and then not working for many more minutes, and then working again and then not working.
I tried working once, it wasn't for me.
It's hard. I really do admire people that do it every single day and just have Saturday and Sundays off. I really do. But then of course you see, then you're in a show, a West End or a rep show, a theatre show, and then you work eight shows a week, and you see everyone in the pub in the summer, outside the pub at 6 o'clock, having a nice drink after a day of hard work, and you're just going into a dark, smelly theatre for the next 4 hours.
Yeah, but you could have been in the pub for like 4 hours before.
Well, no. Maybe the old days when the older actors used to go to the pub before a performance. Oh God, how would you do that?
Oh, exactly. So I'm going to open up the floor a little bit for everyone. Anyone have any questions? I was talking about audience participation earlier. Now's the time. Give us that feedback. Any questions about acting?
Has anybody here ever have been an aspiring performer or are an aspiring performer? Anyone? No? Good idea. It's a really rubbish profession.
Terrible.
It's awful. Actors moan when they're in work and when they're out of work. There's an actor's joke, which is they haven't worked for 2 years, an actor, then he gets a filming schedule and he says, oh my God, I've got a day off for 2 weeks. Classic.
That is true.
It's true. It's what we all do it. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
You're
It's been an
welcome.
absolute pleasure.
You're welcome.
And the joy that I got last night is incomparable. It was amazing. It was so
Thank you very
fun.
much, Paul. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.